Alright, welcome back to Football Daily, where today we need to talk about the drop zone. It's squeaky bum time right now at the bottom of the table. The relegation dogfight is heating up to epic proportions. So today I'm going to attempt to embarrass myself even further when it comes to predictions by predicting who goes down. This can only go badly. Now, I did do something very similar, as you can see here, for the top four. That went well. But there we have it. Manchester United and Arsenal finishing level on 65 points. But United squeeze in because of a superior goal difference. So I've got the table up in front of me here. As you can see, Norwich and Watford at this stage. I mean, Norwich are literally down. Watford are chalked. Watford are gone. Let's have it right. Watford are gone as well. So we're really looking at these three here. Everton, Leeds and Burnley. I mean, Villa, Brentford and Southampton could miraculously get dragged into this, but they are at the golden 40, so I'm really going to be focusing on Burnley, Leeds and Everton today. Now in front of me, as you can see on your screen here, I have the Predictor app, where you can enter every single result from the Premier League and it will produce a table on a week-by-week basis. However, we are slightly out of kilter. We're at game week 36, but there are unfulfilled games from earlier in the season. So to keep this fair today, I'm going to be doing it in real world order. So I might have to jump back in game weeks in order to get game weeks played at the correct time. I hope that makes sense. We'll then look at the table and see who goes down or who is going down on a sort of week-by-week basis. Okay, so as you can see, I've inputted some rough predictions. It doesn't really matter for the rest of the league, so I've kind of just shoved random scores into those ones. But I've left blank Burnley's game, Everton's game, and Leeds' game. We're at game week 36 here. Burnley against Aston Villa, who I think they have to play again this season. Weirdly, the COVID fixture scheduling is just totally f***ed. But Burnley versus Villa, Burnley under Mike Jackson have been a different beast. 10 points from a possible 12. And they've been immense at home. They've won both of their home games, haven't they? The only points they dropped were on the road against West Ham. They had chances against West Ham as well. And Aston Villa are all over the place a little bit. They're all over the place a little bit at the moment under Steven Gerrard. I know they won at the weekend, but I think Burnley gets something out of this. I'm going Burnley 1-0, and I'm going for the king himself, 6'6" Woot, back on the score sheet. He was on the score sheet against West Ham, back on the score sheet against Villa. Leicester against Everton. I mean, Everton's away record is as bad as you'll ever see. At home this season, they've got the 10th best record. Away, they've got the dead worst 20th in the league in terms of away record. Even under Frank Lampard, that hasn't improved. Away from home, 7 losses, 4 goals scored, 20 conceded. No wins, no draws. Horrendous. At home, just 2 losses, 6 wins, 13 scored, 4 conceded. What's going on here? The away record is so bad, and it will continue to be bad. Leicester to scrape by Everton 2-1. Leeds have somehow got dragged back into this, despite the fact Marsch had that fairly solid period just a couple of weeks after he took over. The last couple of results haven't gone in their favour, although, let's have it right. Who beats Man City? Real Madrid! Hala Madrid! But it won't be Leeds beating Arsenal. Comfy night for Arsenal, I think, there. 3-0. Let's see what that does to the table. So as you can see, that would be a huge weekend for Burnley. That would put Burnley 5 points clear of the drop zone, although Everton would still have a game in hand on Leeds, so could jump above Leeds if they were to win that, because they are only 2 points back, according to my predictions. So the next group of games we're looking at then takes us back to game week 33 in a host of rearranged fixtures. And Leeds have to play Chelsea next. This run of fixtures, Arsenal, Chelsea, is just no good. But the Blues, they're stuttering, they're stumbling, and I reckon Jesse Marsch scrambles a draw against Chelsea. It would be a huge upset, but I've just got a gut feeling there. Everton against Palace. Everton, we spoke about Lampard's home record versus away record. His home record's pretty good. Those 6 wins are important. And the Goodison Park faithful, I'm sure, will be lining the streets in the same way we saw against Chelsea. Flares going off, fireworks outside the Palace Stadium, and a 1-0 win for Everton against a team that's already on the beach in Crystal Palace. What on earth does that do to the table? Well then, cat amongst the pigeons, that puts Leeds in the drop zone, and the goal difference really starting to bite now. As you can see, these 3 sides, the goal difference just appalling. Goals conceded in particular for Leeds, hammering them. 77 goals conceded at this stage of the season, more than any side in the division. And they drop in. We're moving back up to game week 37 here. I hope you're able to follow along at home. It is a little bit complicated, but Burnley got to travel to Tottenham, and I don't see anything positive coming out of that game. Antonio Conte has to win these matches to stand any hope of being in the top 4. He cannot drop points at home to Burnley, although they have in the past. Tottenham wavered against some poor opposition at home and faltered. I don't think they will against Burnley. Everton, the home record. Brentford are a tough team to play against, but when I watched Brentford come to Old Trafford, there was a definite sense of end-of-season syndrome. That felt like a testimonial game, and I think Everton, yet again, I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1. Close game, but I think Everton get the job done there. Leeds against Brighton. Brighton are another team that's going to be on the beach at this stage. Surely they're not going to... Do they get up for it in the same way Leeds are going to? Leeds win the game. 1-0. And that is a bad weekend for Burnley. It's incredibly bad, actually. Burnley drop into the relegation zone with those results, but do have a game in hand on Leeds, who are just 1 point above them. So we'll now go to the game in hand, I would presume, and catch up. And that game in hand takes us all the way back to game week 18 against Aston Villa. Ridiculous. Away to the villains. I think at Villa Park, Villa might just have too much room. I'm going 2-1 for Villa, which is a really bad result for Burnley because they now remain in the relegation zone and they're all level on games played. In fact, Everton have a game in hand that could take them to 41, the golden 40. Surely they'd be safe then. I feel like I might have missed one in here. I've just spotted Watford versus Everton. Apologies, I tried to do it in order, but I might well have missed Watford versus Everton, which has been rescheduled for the 11th of May. If that is the case, and I believe it is the case, I mean, Everton have got to win. They've got to win away at Watford. They've got to eventually get a point on the road, haven't they, under Lamps? They can't lose every game on the road. So, I'm going for an Everton away win at Watford. Watford already down at this stage. For me, Everton get the job done there. I'm actually backing, I'm quite confident Everton stay up, which is just a huge mistake because they're absolute crap. And with that result, somehow, I've got them leapfrogging Southampton. Now, I haven't been inputting Southampton's results correctly. I've just kind of been randomly putting results in. So I'm sure Southampton would be a little bit higher up the table than I'm suggesting here. But that would take Everton to effectively safety. 41 points. Nobody will be going down on 41 points this season. And it also brings us to the final game week of the season. Game week 38, with only Burnley and Leeds in it. A point separating the two sides. This is tough. Let's randomly fill out the rest of them and come back to the fixtures. Okay, last day of the season. Leeds, of course, travel to beach-bound Brentford. I don't see him getting a result there. I know that I've spoken about Brentford not looking great at Old Trafford and losing, but I think Brentford win that game 1-0 and it's a tight affair. And then Burnley, Newcastle incredibly on form. Burnley needing something to stay up. Scramble a 1-1 draw against Newcastle. What on earth does that do to the table? It relegates Leeds. It relegates Leeds on goal difference. And those goals conceded, 78, finally coming back to bite Leeds United. An absolute fire sale in the summer, if that happens, by the way. Rafinha's out, Phillips is out. I mean, Melier you do well to keep hold of. According to my predictions, it's very close between Leeds and Burnley. Everton scrambled to safety by 3 points, and I reckon Leeds end up going down. Sorry, Leeds fans. But I want to hear from you guys at home. Who do you think is going to go down this season? For me, it's between Leeds and Burnley. I think Everton somehow scrambled to safety because of that home record, but it is very close. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.